leaders at our church. Some of us are carrying like multiple hats. And so I thought to kick this show off really with this. Your mental health matters. I thought to let's talk about some techniques that we can even work with. And while we often think of our bodies when we think about getting healthy, our mental health is just as important as our physical health. Mental health includes your emotion, psychological, social well-being, and can affect your physical health. We want to know from you, Khalid, you being our professional tonight, what can we do to improve our mental health? What do you think about, to what degree can I stay positive if all I'm doing is coming home to negativity? And part of that maybe even be because of me, I've allowed it. But how can we use staying positive as part of that mental stability? Talk to us.
Okay, so you brought up a couple of things. So let me
that,
let me try to address the first part. Again, you have to be ready to do the work. Right. You have to pretend like you're at an AA meeting.
Come on.
Do you all know what happens at AA meetings? What happens is when you get up, you have to stand up and say, my name is Khalid and I'm an alcoholic, right? Because, and each time you speak at an AA meeting or an NA meeting, you have to say your name and you have to take ownership of the problem. Because what that means is I'm looking in the mirror saying and being honest with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know that I've had a life of chaos, confusion, crisis, and calamity, then the light bulb has to hit like, I need to do something different, right? And part of me is I got rid of the ambivalence. I got rid of lying to myself. I got rid of fooling myself and manipulating myself. Now I need to sit down with Dr. Scott and I need to be prepared to do this work and understand this. I'm not doing the work with you. I'm the facilitator. You have to do the work because it's your journey. I'm here as a cheerleader. I'm here as a facilitator. I'm here as the person holding your hand. I'm there as the one pushing you for it to excel. But you have to do the work. And I tell my clients often, even after this once, because we meet once a week, 1 hour, there's 167 more hours of the week. You got to do the work. I get mad at my clients when they don't do my homework assignments. Why? Because that homework assignment is an extension of the therapy session. Because when this computer shuts down and you on the other side of the laptop, you got to go right back in that mirror and say, you know what, self? I got to take this foundation off my face that covers all my wounds and my webs and my freckles. Now, I want to get some cold cream. And I want to put the cold cream on my face because the cold cream will eventually banish the scars and the webs and the freckles. Foundation just covers it.
Yeah.
I want you to cure it. But you got to be ready to do that.
Got to be ready to do the work. Go ahead, LaTanya. I knew this was going
to
get nice and fired up.
I got to talk to my boy.
Yes.
Let me say this. So sometimes I go on your page because I know you're a doctor, and I do a self-reflection of myself. Okay. And so I try to fix, even though I can't really fix myself, but me and God, I do a self-reflection, and I come on your page and I read the stuff you put on Facebook, right? Yes. You had on there about self-sabotaging. Yes. And I'm like, hey, I don't do that. That's me. I don't do that. I don't self-sabotage. So as I was reading, and it was like you come to a dead end, and you start stuff, you don't finish it, and it was a lot of stuff. So, and especially with, like, I'm trying to do this healthy eating habit, and when I want to juice, I drink coffee. When I want to have, when I want to eat a banana, I get a coffee roll with the extra cinnamon and all. So today, let me tell you how powerful your page is. So you said, if I'm thinking about coffee, I should. What you said was, this morning I was thinking about coffee. I went in my kitchen and I said, no, you're going to juice. So it was like, I heard you say that to me. No, because I drink coffee, but I put too much sugar. So that's going to kill me. And I
Right.
put too much. So I pretty have cream, sugar, and then a little coffee. That's how my stuff go. So this morning I went and I heard your voice say, when I was going to go make this creamy, sweet coffee, I heard you say, Tanya, don't sabotage.
Right.
Do juice.
Right.
So can you explain more about the self-sabotage?
That's good. That's good, Tanya. That's
Right.
good. And we love your explanation.
Yes.
So what self-sabotage means is you are not taking care of yourself. You continue to fool yourself. You pretend to walk in a Walt Disney movie,
Oh, wow.
expecting that it's going to be a different ending, right?
Okay.
And
Good.
what happens is you get some of your needs met, right? But not the full effect. But see, you've been used to having the bar low. I want you to have the bar high, and you can't keep doing this. You got to keep it high and maintain it high.
Stay high.
And self-sabotage says, because we all have that intuition. We all have that sixth sign or sixth person in our mind that says, don't do that. Don't do it. But you work harder to convince that sixth person in your head to say, no, wait a minute. Juice and coffee are both liquids. I'm drinking liquids. They only say coffee is 120 calories. Now, when you add that sugar, it becomes 220 calories. But maybe I'll just put one less sugar in. And at the end of the day, you drink that coffee. It tastes good for that moment. And then you feel guilty afterwards because you're like, I should have did the juice. And so what happened is what I see with self-sabotage is part of your esteem. We start telling ourselves, I don't deserve the best.
Oh, wow.
I've learned to manage at the minimum.
Ooh,
right?
Yes, preach.
And the minimum is okay. I'm okay with it. But then I tell people, start experimenting, right? Start doing the little extra and see what kind of euphoria that feels like when you get the most. So it's like a woman who says, I want to be in a healthy relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she typically dates this type of guy. The guy who, I don't know, just kind of low vibration dude. But then she says, I'm going to date a lawyer. He'll be better. But see, the lawyer and the janitor might still have the same mindset. It's just one old school. You know what I'm saying? So it's still low vibration. He just makes a couple of extra dollars more.
Okay.
When the person says, I'm going to date a healthy person, no matter what his occupation is, and I want to say he treats me optimally, then that's a euphoric. It's like when they say, once you tasted the fruit, a sweet fruit, you can never go back to a bitter fruit again.
Correct.
So and that's it. And that's it.
So you are you're putting some meat on our brains tonight. You know that. Anyway, listen, y'all know, I mean, the time is running away from us, but I want to get in as much as we can get in because we just ready for you tonight. Okay. Listen, I want you to tell us a little bit about, in my notes, I stated, be mindful of what you take in. Tanya kind of talked about that a few minutes ago. Be mindful of what you take in. Like my mental, I have to talk to myself often and say, Angela, you are enough. And I've been saying this lately, and there may be some folk who tuned in tonight who I've said it to. I'm the favorite, and I am. I'm the favorite and I'm the prize. And I don't think anything is, because I think, Khalid, you just finished talking about that. So be mindful of what you take in. The news cycle can often be one tragic story after another. So it's important to know when to take a break and focus on other things. In addition to what you see on social media has the potential to make you feel less than if you constantly compare your own life to that of smiling, faces on other feeds. Can you talk to us just a little bit, Khalid, about making sure we're mindful of the things we take in?
Right.
It's really a mindset, right?
Sure
Talk
is.
to us a little bit about that. Your mental matters is what we're
Right.
Yes.
talking about tonight. Real
Right.
talk.
Right.
Let's talk. Can we talk? Your mental matters.
So I want you all to, I'm going to give you an assignment. So I want you to go on Instagram and I want you to find somebody who, or one of those influencer who is very attractive and appears that they live in a beautiful condo or a beautiful house, right? And then I want you to research them, right? And I want you to do your best to find out their backstory.
Mm.
Mm.
And what you typically will find, and they've done article after article after article, those influencers have some of the most horrific lives.
Wow.
But what they've learned is, let me take something that's good about me, showcase it, right? So there was an influencer, right? Dark skinned guy, about 6'5", six pack. He was a bodybuilder, right? And what he did was he saw that me being an attractive man, right, makes people want to listen to my advice, right? And for about a couple of years, he had got almost 1 million followers, right?
Wow.
And then he disappeared, right? He came back about 6 to 9 months later saying that he had a mental health breakdown and that he was homeless. So see, when we saw him on Instagram, he lived in Miami and it would appear to be a beautiful condo. And then he's fit and trim. So we made up our own fairy tale about his life, not knowing he was dealing with sexual trauma, right? Not knowing that he was unemployed and not knowing that that was an Airbnb condo that he was filming himself in. So what happens is the best way to have a fulfilling life is to work on your life and not pay attention to the person on this side or that side, right? Because if you really knew what people were going through behind closed doors, you wouldn't want their life. You wouldn't want their life. I remember I was at the gym one day. This was years ago. I was, heavy and I was trying to lose weight. I had a gym buddy who was in there, Mr. 12 pack. And I was on the treadmill and he was next to me. And I'm like, man, I would do anything to switch bodies with you. So did the workout. We was leaving out together, right? He was going to his car. He said, Khalid, would you really switch places with me? Dude, to have a 12 pack instead of my 36 pack? And, well, Khalid, you know what? If you take my body, then you have to take my HIV.
Wow.
And I said, wow, man. He said, Khalid, the reason why I work out so hard because when you have HIV, they tell you you need to be as healthy as possible. So I took this curse and I made it work for me and I got into healthy living. But if you want this body, Khalid, I'll switch with you. But better yet, Khalid, I'll give you some tips on how to work on your own body. After that, I never had envy of nobody else again.
Look at that. Look at that. Khalid, I keep telling you what I love about this podcast is that we hear, we sense, and we're unorthodox, but we make sure we follow the lead. It just so happened we ain't having no breaks tonight, y'all. Let's keep going. Just so happened that the segue tonight for being physically active and taking care of yourself is where you just landed us tonight. I think I don't want to take a break. If my producer says take a break, then we have to take a break. She'll let me know. But Khalid, talk to us. I want you to, if you don't mind, can you take us to that time in your life where, because I had a note about taking care of yourself. Your physical health is deeply connected to your mental health. And the stress and anxiety you feel can impact your body in negative ways. Can you take us, if you don't mind, back to that time in your own life where you decided years ago you would do something different about your body, your weight, all that, and how, tell us how it kind of helped. It did affect your mental in a good way. And so, of course, and because of that, all of us have been watching you and trying to glean. And I'm trying to lose a little bit here now. Lord, I'm
Now,
the biggest one in the doggone group. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find out what is Tamara and LB doing that I'm not doing. But anyway, go on.
okay, so let me share this.
Oh yeah, we can see. Oh my, look at him.
So,
Yes, we see it.
so 3.5 years ago, I was 320 pounds. And that was purely pandemic weight that I put on. Because I used to be a fitness trainer in my 20s.
Yes.
Plus, remember what I do for a living. I deal with secondary trauma all the time. Secondary trauma is I hear so many stories of drama and trauma that I start internalizing it, right? And I'm a cancer and I'm a foodie. So I was an emotional eater. When my feelings when I was feeling a certain way, I turned to food because food made me feel good. Food became my mistress, right? I went to the doctor's office. He said, Khalid, you're 320 pounds. I said, doctor, I know you're lying. Ain't no way I'm 320 pounds. He said, come and look at the scale again. He said, Khalid, you're knocking on diabetes door. You're knocking on hypertension door. You're knocking on high cholesterol door. And what happened was my doctor is in Matson, right across the street from Giordano's. And if anybody knows me, Giordano's is my second mistress, right? I love Giordano so much, I lick the doorknob when I walk into that restaurant. So on that day, it was September 9th, I left that doctor's office and hightailed my black self over to Jules in South Holland. And I bought $300 worth of good food, fruits and vegetables and chicken breasts and oatmeal. 8 months later, I lost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Because I knew I wanted to see my daughter graduate from college the following year. I knew that I had a closet full of nice, expensive clothes that I wanted to put back on. And for sure, I wanted to live because I got so much work to do. But I had to decide in that moment, was I going to cry and feel sorry for myself and gain another 40 pounds or do something about it? And I chose to do something about it. How can I sit in front of people telling them to live their best life and I'm not following my own prescription? Wow. And that's it. You have to make up your mind that you matter. And when you make up your mind that you matter, you will not put yourself at risk anymore in relationships, in your health, in your wellness, nothing. Because you have this agape love called self-love. And I tell everybody, have the best love affair with you first. Wow. And then you'll raise your bar.
Have the best love affair with yourself.
Right.
And then you will raise the bar.
Absolutely.
Look, develop meaningful relationships. Yes. This might mean working on the relationships you already have. So taking a break from a toxic relationship you're in or building new ones through work, new activities, or online. Talk to us, Khalid, about developing meaningful relationships as we are attempting to make sure that our mental matters.
Right. So let me give this wonderful example. So right now, Yolanda and Latanya, I have 45 people I know who are divorcing or are have finalized their divorce. And they're in our age bracket. So and they call that gray divorces. Mm. You get divorced in your middle age, right? Over half of those 45 people they haven't even signed the divorce decree and they're already in new relationships or situationships. And you know that. You know that. The husband got his side woman, or for some reason, black women love going over to Gary, Indiana, getting that new dude. I'm like, what is it about these dudes in Gary, Indiana?
I have never heard what you just said, Glenn. I'm so sorry. I have never heard that.
In Gary, Indiana.
I need tomorrow to jump on this camera and tell me if she ever heard that. I ain't never heard that mess before, ever, never. She say she ain't never heard that. What's over in Gary?
Well, see, a lot of the women I know, they were married to white collar guys,
okay,
right?
That makes sense.
Now they want the blue collar guy. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is because he doesn't require a lot. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to do the polar opposite of what the white collar did. So it's like dating Heathcliff Huxtable and you start dating James Evans. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is I tell folks that is the worst time to start dating someone while you're going through a divorce. Why? Because you haven't had time to detox. You haven't had time to heal. You haven't had time to evaluate the part you played in the demise of your relationship. So what happens is you transfer over or you transition over the same behaviors to the new person. So if I was married to you, Angela, and I'm going through a divorce, but I start dating LaTanya, LaTanya's going to get the dysfunction that I gave you, Angela.
Amen.
Detox. My behavior pattern is still the same. She's just a new woman, the new
person. Yeah.
But give me a year to go to counseling. Give me a year to know how to be my own best company. And then, LaTanya, I'll be a better man for you. But the way folks are doing it now, I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
If we want to have meaningful relationships, again, have the best meaningful, healthy relationship with you.
With myself.
Then you set up a criteria, and then you go and find someone who meets the needs. Or you might, like my ex-wife was a free spirit. I can't ever be with a free spirit again. Because a free spirit is vicarious. They have no boundaries. They don't like authority. As you all know about me, I'm structured. I need somebody in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to throw caution to the wind. I like paying my bills on the 1st of the month, not the 26th of the month.
Well, you just preached right there, bro. Did y'all hear Khalid? Khalid say he ain't paying no bills on no 26, and they do.
Or they do on the 1st. Well, the 1st is 4 days from now, right? But you didn't pay the bills from the 1st of this month.
Yeah.
No. But I had to go and learn me. I had to learn the part that I played. I'm controlling. I love femininity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Who's okay with cooking a meal. You know what I'm saying? But I got to know who I am, so then I can be, and then I can give you options, LaTanya. When I say, LaTanya, I like a woman to cook for me 5 nights a week. I like a woman who likes wearing a dress. If that is not you, don't pretend it is. Hey, it's not me, Khalid. I'm a tomboy. Okay, sweetie, this was a wonderful dinner between us.
It was.
Take care of yourself.
Now, wait. Khalid, Khalid, so there is no compromise nowhere in that?
Why? Why would I?
Look. Khalid say snip and cut it.
Cut.
Oh my God.
I'm 56 years old. I know what I want. I know what works for me.
Now I believe that as well. I believe that when we get a certain age, I recently said that today, Tanya and Khalid and Tamar. I recently said today, I said, I don't really have time to play games. I said, I know some people are all for the mentally, let's just go ahead and go with the flow, all that. No, absolutely not. We need no. I'm 61 years old now. The flow is in my shondo, right? But I also know where I'm headed. And you know what? mentally, let's go here for a second. Khalid, discover, I want to talk about before we let you go. Oh, yeah. Khalid, talk to us a little bit about discovering helpful coping techniques for when you're confronted with challenging situations. Mentally, help us to confront some things, give us some techniques about how we can best handle some of the challenges that we'll face mentally. We know, and you already know, if I'm an emotional wreck, my mental is going to be off.
Right, right.
How can we cope in today's 21st century, Khalid? You talking good tonight. You hear me?
Thank you, beloved. Thank you so much. The best way to cope is to know who you are.
That's good.
And
know who you are.
And know your capacity. Right? I have an auntie, and every time I talk to her, she curses me out because she gets drunk and she's been heartbroken by every man that she knows, and she doesn't know how to differentiate. So I had to learn, even though I love Auntie Nene, I cannot be around Auntie Nene, or I have to take her in snippets. So I can choose to be around her, get cursed out and feel bad. Or I can say, let me go see her on her birthday. Let me go and see her on her Mother's Day.
Good tonight. You really talking good tonight.
And then take my Black self home. I won't get cursed out, and I'm going to feel good at the end of the night because my auntie is consistent. Her behavior is consistent. She ain't got to change. She's 74 years old. I'm the one that has to find a way to navigate, and that's what I find. So when we're met with challenges, you have to know how to navigate that challenge. I did not want to go back to the office 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
It was wonderful being at home, working from home. What happened was President Trump said, y'all got to go back full time. So what I did was we have this thing called alternate work schedule, where you work 4 days, 10-hour days, and then you'll have a 5th day at home. So that was the option I took because I needed to be at home at least 1 day during the week. So you find things that will work for you.
Find things that'll work for you.
Yes, Tanya.
Yeah.
So pretty much, then explain this, because pretty much you saying we as individuals need to set healthy boundaries. Am I correct?
Yes.
Explain that. Some people don't know what that is.
Healthy boundaries, right?
Talk to us about it. Yeah.
In the big old ages that we are, we know what we can deal with and what we can't deal with, right? And what I've learned about human beings appreciate when you're honest with them, when you're firm with them, and you provide some structure. It's just like a kid. If you let a kid get away with murder, they're going to get away with murder. But the minute you give that kid some structure and you're consistent with that structure, then they'll appreciate you more, because structure means to a child, you love me, right? The minute you coddle, I learned with the veterans, the minute the social workers coddle those veterans, they'll curse them out the minute they have to say no to them. The minute you're structured with that and disciplined with those vets, they'll respect you, right? And they won't challenge you because they know my yes means yes, but more importantly, my no means no. But you got to be consistent with your boundaries.
Yeah, because you lose friends.
Celibate, and he takes you out on the first date and you lay down with him, you lost him. Because it's our job to convince you to stop being celibate, right? That's our job to do, right? But the more you're consistent, I'll either meet you where you are, or I'll go and find the other 19 women willing to lay down with me. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you stood your ground and you were truthful. But and that's everybody's homework tonight. Write out your boundaries. Write out your parameters.
That's good.
Write out your non-negotiables. Own them and carry them through.
Own them
and carry them through.
Listen at this, Khalid. We have, and I do want to throw in there tonight that, listen, if you're having issues, if you feel mentally drained and you feel like you could unalive yourself. I want to make sure that if you're thinking this way, that you are dialing 988. And of course, that will be our suicide and crisis lifeline. Okay. 988 will be our suicide and our crisis lifeline. We don't take it for granted that everybody watching tonight, or you'll lay down tonight and you're thinking to yourself, I can do this. No, we want to give you some coping mechanisms, and we also want to give you a place that you can call. Khalid, as a matter of fact, tell them where they can get in touch with you. Please tell them that now for us, please.
Absolutely. My name, Khalid Scott, on all social media platforms, X, TikTok, Twitter. The Twitter is the same as X, LinkedIn, and Facebook. You can find me on www.psychology today under my name. And then my phone number is 312-43-SCOTT. 312-43-SCOTT. 437-2688.
And so of course, we will make sure, y'all, that Tamara is probably going to make sure she flashes it, or we'll make sure that it's on our page. One Sister to Another Media 33 on YouTube, Angela L. Johnson on Facebook, One Sister to Another Internet Radio on YouTube as well, Intellectual Radio, of course, on YouTube as well. Don't worry, we're going to make sure that this number is out there. Listen at this. We're down to the last, of course, couple of minutes of the podcast tonight, but we got to ask you, Khalid, before we go, we want to ask, how do we challenge ourselves? You've talked so good tonight. How do we challenge ourselves to find meaning and purpose in this life? I mean, this life has thrown us some curveballs. Listen, I often tell folk, look, I'm still healing. I'm still healing from divorce. And it's been since 2022, December, right? But I tell you, I took them lemons and I made lemonade, lemon drops, lemon cake. I made liverwort. Did I just say lemon wort for liverwort? Anyway, I didn't make that. But all of the lemonade, I did it all right. But I want you to tell us tonight, as our professional, Khalid, as our mental health professional night, tell us how we can challenge ourselves to find meaning and purpose in life.
Okay. So I want you all to participate in this exercise. Angela and Latanya, give me one of your bad habits that you would love to break.
I eat too many potato chips.
Okay. Angela?
I was going to say this. I'm a sugar. I'm a sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Latanya, this is what I want you to do. What's your favorite potato chips?
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
So I want you to go and buy a bag of salt and vinegar potato chips tomorrow, right?
Okay.
And then what I want you to do is empty out the bag, and I want you to put crackers in the bag. White saltine crackers in the bag.
Okay.
What happens is when you tell somebody to stop doing something, what happens is your mind says, fight them on it.
Right.
What I'm telling you to do is convince your mind that you're still getting your needs met, but you're not. You're doing a more healthier way. So you're going to eat crackers, which has low calories, in that same salt and sour bag. Because in your visual, you think you're eating salt and sour, but healthy, you're eating those crackers, right? Sugar. What's your favorite candy, Angela?
Oh my God. The turtles.
Turtles. So I want you to go and buy a box of turtles, right?
You
buy a box of turtles, and I want you to throw them away, but keep the box. And what I want you to do is put raisins in those little the little containers. And then every day I want you to take, like you picking up a turtle, I want you to pick up a scoop of the raisins and eat the raisins. The raisins will still give you a sweet effect.
Yes, they will.
What you're doing is you're convincing your head to make a better choice, but you're still going to the same package.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Latanya.
I got one more then.
Yes.
Okay, forget the chips. I stay on the phone 15 hours a day.
Wow. Tell me why. Tell me why. Talking. Okay.
Yes. Talking to everybody.
Right. So you are a communicator, right?
Yes.
Right. And you're a people person, right?
Yes, and it's overwhelming.
and it's overwhelming. So
Yes.
what I want you to do is start doing harm reduction. Harm reduction in substance abuse is this. I do drugs 7 days a week, but I want to break the habit. So somebody like me who's a drug and alcohol counselor, okay, well, you could do cocaine Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, take a break. So what I want you to do is if you talk 15 hours a day, I want you come Monday to talk 10 hours a day.
Okay.
And literally count 10 hours.
Okay.
I don't want you to go full cold turkey and not talk at all, because then when you pick up that phone, you're going to do 24 hours to make up.
Okay.
You're right. What I want you to do is slowly back away from it. Back away from it, where you still get the same sensation. And that's what I meant by the chips and the candy. I want you to think you're still getting the same sensation, but you're dialing it back slowly to the point where you're like, I don't need it.
I don't even need this anymore. I can see that. I can visualize that.
Absolutely.
Khalid, you are absolutely amazing. And guess what? We got about 4 more minutes, and I'm asking you this one thing, and we're going to have you to also share one more time how people can get in touch with you. And then, of course, we're going to have to sign off. I tell you, value yourself. Avoid constant self-criticisms and negative talk. Instead, try to remember to give yourself grace and treat yourself how you would a friend who is struggling. Treat yourself like you would treat the friend who is struggling. So, Val, can you share with us, Khalid, as we're closing, share with us mentally as we are causing our mental to matter tonight. How can people value themselves? And then share how they can get in touch with you. Please.
Okay, absolutely. So this is an exercise I want you all to practice. Okay. I want you to take your favorite childhood picture, the picture that it was a wonderful moment in time, and I want you to put it either on your mirror in the bathroom or in the refrigerator. Right? And I want you to look at that picture every day, or make it your cover picture on your phone. Right? That's better. That's even better. Yeah. Make it your cover picture. And when you're having times of stress, feeling bad, I want you to look at that picture of you when times was innocent, when times were a little bit better. Or if you didn't have a good childhood, maybe in your 20s, it was a moment that you felt good. And I want you to look at that picture and say, I want to replicate the feelings I had back then. Until the point is it becomes so habitual that you don't even have to look at the picture no more, but you have learned to convince and condition your mind to say, I want to always feel this good. I want to always feel this good because I'm the only one that can make myself. You cannot think you're going to get that from a spouse, a child, a parent, a best friend. You have to be committed on your own work.
Yes.
So don't look for another person. Tell me to agree or disagree with this, Khalid. Stop looking for other people to bring you peace. I don't need y'all to bring me no peace. I bring my peace. God's got to give me peace, right? I don't need a person to bring my. Now, I don't need you jacking up my space either, but definitely I don't need you to bring my peace. Talk to us a little bit about that, Khalid, and then go ahead. You can tell us how to get in touch with you.
I got to ask him a question.
We got two. Oh. We got 1 minute.
Go ahead.
I think you can, Tanya.
I know you said something about you a trainer. Trainer to do what? Trainer.
Well, I train people or educate people on, subject matters of relationships, mental health, and things of that nature.
Okay. I need training.
Okay. You got my number, sis. You call me anytime.
Okay. We love you for that, Khalid. Khalid, yes. Tell us, how can we get in touch with you, and how can maybe a church, a organization bring you in and have you talk to their men and then talk to the women and the men? How can we
right. All you have to do is Google my name and everything will come up under Google. Khalid.
What's your phone number again?
312-437-2688, which spells out 43 Scott, SCOTT.
One more time.
312 437-2688, which is 43 Scott.
And Tanya making sure she writing it down now on the air because she want to make sure she get it. She get exactly what I'm talking about. Right. This is the real show. Hey, we ain't playing about this thing. Listen at this. This is one sister to another. 312. There it is on the screen.
437-2688.
Yes, 312
437
2688.
2688. 312-427-3688. Here's Khalid Scott, our mental practitioner. Y'all, I call it our mental moment. It matters. It does. And y'all know what? Khalid had us out there on, is it linked? You announced on Link you were going to be here tonight.
Yes.
Khalid had us out there on Link tonight. I'm telling y'all, this has been a total maximize your mental moment with Khalid Scott tonight. Do y'all hear me? Of course, we're one sister to another. We're, of course, your podcast with information, inspiration, and limitless God affirmations. We believe that shows like this will cause you to want to move better, do better, cause you to tell that joker that's eating all your cereal and you ain't married him in 10 years, cause you to put that joke out. Listen, for those of you all who need a little bit more, those of you all who feel like you really could unalive yourself in the next hour, next 2 hours tonight, I want y'all to call this number, 988 Lifeline. 988, that of course is the lifeline. And of course, okay, 988. Of course, text 988. And of course, you can chat with someone about maybe some challenges that you're going through. We realize that we can't give it all to you in one night. We don't know all the words to say, but we believe tonight. Khalid, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Tamara, for saying yes to the show tonight. Thank you so much, Trayla, for always supporting us in what we do. LB, we were so thankful and we're happy to see your face in the place. Y'all know at the end of the day, Tamara and Tanya, they I think they say yes because I told them, look, God told me that you all are the next two hosts for One Sister to Another. Can I tell y'all something? I think we're doing pretty good if you really want to know. Okay? We're your girls. We're One Sister to Another with a podcast with information, inspiration, and limitless God affirmations. We're also your best host. IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you, YDB. IntellectualRadio.com with our heart radio station. Don't forget to hang out with me at She Rocks It. I've been trying to get on that doggone, look, in that vending space for years, and I finally landed. She Rocks It. I will be there with them May the 16th. Okay, you can go tune it up. We get ready to go. Listen, I'm excited about when we come back the fourth Friday in April. We're trying to get, of course, none other than Deborah Vines is going to get on here and talk about the Answer Inc., the autism walk that's going to be taking place on August 18th, I believe. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're not going to announce our next guest, but you'll see it out there on our doggone Facebook. You'll see it on One Sister to Another. You'll see it out there. One Sister to Another Media 33 on YouTube. Angela Johnson on YouTube. Latoya Sharia Birch on YouTube. Tamar Woodard on YouTube. Intellectual Radio on YouTube. One Sister to Another internet radio show right there on Facebook. Okay, I need y'all to go out there. And y'all on TikTok, y'all know I love y'all, right? Don't forget to send them heartbeats because you know I need them. Okay, I love you, Khalid. Love you, LB. Love you, Tamara. Love you, Trayla. Thank you, Jay. Thank y'all for lending your voices. We appreciate y'all so much. We'll be back in 2 weeks.